up, guys? It's Bueno. Just wanted to address this question that I've been getting from so many people. Really, I've coached over hundreds of people in the last month, and I noticed that the thing that they always ask, like most common question that they always ask, is, "Hey, Bueno, how am I gonna be successful in business? What do I have to do? Blah 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 blah." And they always have this question, so I just want to address that right here. The difference between the people that are successful or the people that fail in business are the people that follow these three things. The first one is listening to your mentor, and the second one is taking massive action, and the third one is not quitting, not giving up. So let's talk about the first one. First one is definitely listening to your mentor. First things first, you have to have someone that's actually a mentor to listen to. Someone that is already at the place where you're wanting to go, as opposed to someone that has never been there before. So let's just use the quick little example of someone, financially. If we're talking about, trying to make $1 million in a year, you wouldn't go and ask someone that's a 4 or 5 figure earner, that's how much they make a year, or how to make $1 million, because that just doesn't make any sense at all. You would obviously ask someone that is either high 6 figures or 7 figure earner or 8 figure earner, to be able to make that type of money. That's what you would do. It just makes sense. So first you have to have a good mentor, someone that you can actually listen to, that will speak into your life and will get you exactly to where you need to be. And this next thing is really just listening to your mentor. And when your mentor tells you to do something, just do it. That's one of the main things that you have to do, which leads me into my next point. Point number 2 is taking massive action. Whenever your mentor tells you to do something, just do it. That's all it takes. All you have to do is, if they've already been successful telling you exactly what they did to succeed, why not just do it? I just want to tell you a quick little story about me that I learned from my father years ago. He literally only said this to me one time, but I will never forget it. And what he told me was, my mom was asking me just to do chores, and she just said, "Hey, Caleb," Caleb's my first name, can you take out the trash, please? And dude, I just had so many excuses to throw back at my mom. "Hey mom, I'm doing my homework right now. I can't take out the trash." "Hey mom, I already did the dishes, like, you want me to take out the trash too?" "Hey mom, I'm trying to level up right now. I'm playing a video game. It's super important, mom. Like, you don't understand." So I just had all the excuses in the world why I couldn't do a simple task like taking out the trash. And my dad told me one time, "Hey Caleb, why don't you just do it sometimes? If your mom tells you to do something, why not just do it? Who cares? If you're playing a video game, just pause it real quick. Or if you've already done the dishes, just do it. It needs to be done anyway. If you're doing your homework, then just do it. Why not? Why not just do it? Why not take massive action when someone is speaking to your life that knows and has already been successful, what exactly to do? Why not just take massive action and just do it? That's super key. And another thing is really that analysis paralysis thing. A lot of people, they just get so used to just taking in information of just like, "Oh yeah, I have to know everything about my business, I have to know everything about my product, I have to know everything about the service, I have to know everything about the people, my market, my industry." They have to learn all of these things, or they think they have to learn all of these things, and they just never take any action because they just feel overwhelmed. I know so much of this stuff and I just didn't take any action. I noticed that a lot of people that I was talking to while I was taking massive action building my business, they knew more about the business than I did. They knew more about the product. They knew more about the service. They knew more about, what's happening, what the next training is, what the next webinar is, what the next this. They knew all of how everything works in the system, except, taking massive action, the productivity to build your business. That's the only thing that they weren't doing. So they knew everything else, but they weren't taking massive action on the thing that they need to do. And I was. So that's how I got 90 people in my first 5 weeks, because I was taking massive action without knowing, everything about everything. Because even if you spend all that time to do it, you wouldn't know anyway. So what's the point? What the leaders say to do is, whenever you learn something from your mentor, just do it. Whenever you take in a training, take massive action after you do it, so that you're not just, you don't just forget it. We're so busy all the time. If you're not actively doing something after you do a training, you're wrong. Really, you're wrong, because you want to take massive action and make things happen. Don't you? Don't you want to make things finally happen? Or do you want to do what everyone else is doing? That's the thing. That's the difference between the people that are successful and the people that fail. So yeah, that's the last thing. The last thing is not giving up, not quitting, step 3. And that is one of the major things. A lot of people are right there at their breakthrough, and maybe they listened to their mentor and then they took massive action, but it didn't happen overnight. Maybe it didn't work that night, and they didn't make $1 million yet. Maybe they didn't make $1 million in a week or 2 weeks or a month or 2 months or 6 months or a year. Maybe they didn't make $1 million in a year and they just give up. Like, dude, you have to actively keep working on this stuff. You have to make sure you don't get distracted in whatever you're doing. So one of the major things is focusing on, one thing at a time. Currently, I have 5 businesses. I might be taking 2 more businesses, but here's the thing. I started with 1 business, and I understood enough about it for me to be able to take on another business, and I understood enough about it for me to take another one, but only after I completely crushed it with the first one. Only after, I only move on after it makes sense to move on, if it's a business that, they sell tools or they sell, VSL funnel, stuff like that. That's something that you need for your business anyway. And you don't want to necessarily consider that a business if you're not actively promoting it. But if you are actively promoting it, then just make sure you're prepared for if you're selling both or whatever you're doing. So that's important. The other thing is really focusing on one traffic strategy and mastering that one first, and then you can move on to another one. That is super important. So yeah, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Snapchat, whether it's, whatever you're planning to do, focus on that one first, make it work for you, and understand how the inner workings and how everything works, and then move on to the next strategy. Only then move on, because what you don't want is you don't want to be overwhelmed with either too many businesses or too many, traffic strategies. You want to actively know how people are coming into your business. You want to actively know, what business and stuff you're running, and you want to know what's going on. So be sure to just focus on certain, take certain information at a time, and then just take massive action. That's super key. So yeah, so that's the major differences. So whenever anyone comes under me, or I become your coach, or I become your mentor, I just really speak into your life, that's all I'm asking. I'm really asking, just really, number one, just listen to what I have to say, or listen to your coach, listen to what your coach has to say, and then take massive action. That's super key. When I tell you to do it, whatever certain trainings and stuff, just do it. On your own time, take your time to do that, and then just take massive action. One of the biggest things is I noticed the difference between the people that are taking massive action and the ones that don't. The ones that don't, they are constantly asking every single question that they need to, as opposed to just, learning things themselves, or just being, go-getters and actively doing, it's like they always ask me, okay, Caleb, or how do I promote this now? Okay, what do I need now? Do I need a VSL and a funnel? What's a VSL? What's a funnel? Okay, what is my lead generations, and how can I generate leads? How can I find what, blah 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 blah. And then they ask me things like, okay, so what should I be eating? So what time should I be going to sleep? how much should I be working? You know, how much, like, dude, are you serious? We're adults. You know, like, if you're an entrepreneur, you want to actively be putting work into your business. Don't rely on someone else to to make you succeed. You know, when you're actively going through something, like, make sure you're asking your mentor qualified questions that will help you to take massive action. That's the main reason why your mentor is there. Your mentor isn't a babysitter. You know, your mentor isn't, like, your mentor can do like over the shoulder stuff, but they're not babysitters. We can't be like that if you expect to be growing in active business. But just really listen to your mentor, and then only ask qualified questions, that will allow you to take massive action. You can occasionally ask certain things. Okay, so what's a VSL? I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a video sales leader. Okay, cool. Like, just really small things. You can ask those things on occasion, but the biggest thing is you just want to ask qualified questions that are going to make you take massive action, and then take massive action yourself. Whenever you do a training, just take action. So that's the thing. I really want you guys to be successful, but I really don't want to be a babysitter. I want people. In fact, like, that's the thing. If I babysit you, you still won't be successful, because your efforts and your success depends on you and what you're actively doing. How you distinguish yourself out from the market. What things you're constantly doing to build your business. And I'll share with you more things that you can actively do to build your business, so that you can actually do it and absolutely crush it with me. So I'm looking forward to your success, so that you can as well live the Bueno life. So I look forward to speaking to you guys soon. Take care.